But as my pastor is giving this invitation, suddenly I hear God for the first time in my life. So I grew up in church, right? Like Christianity is like a deep part of our culture. And so I grew up in the church. I was forced to go to church and I knew how to play the game very well. Just did what I had to do because I knew that that's what was required of me in terms of, if you didn't want to catch a beat down, you're going to go to church, right? And so June 2nd, 1997. So I was 17. I was at church. I was playing the guitar, part of the worship team, right? My pastor was giving an invitation for people to come to know God, anyone who wanted to. But as my pastor is giving this invitation, suddenly I hear God for the first time in my life. And it's not an audible voice, right? It's not like, James Earl Jones. I compare it to a really loud thought in my chest. Like it sounded almost like my own voice, really loud in my chest. And the words were, "You're not fooling me." With these words came the deepest sense of unconditional love that I've ever felt in my life. Like there was zero judgment with it. There was zero like, I'm disappointed in you. I'm this and that. It was just, "You're not fooling me." And then I saw this vision. This is going to get crazy. I saw this vision of like a can of Coke, but inside of it was urine. And I knew that that's how my life was because I was advertising something on the outside, but I was something else on the inside, something disgusting, something not real, something not lining up with, like I was part of the Christian club at school and I was on the worship team at church and I did all the right things on Sunday in front of my pastor, in front of my uncle and aunt and all these different things. But behind the scenes, I was living a completely different life. It was not lining up with what scripture talks about. And the point that God was making was not that it wasn't a judgmental thing. He was just saying, choose. Like he's saying, I respect authenticity and integrity. If you want to do your thing, then do your thing, but please don't act like you're living for me when we both know you're not fooling me. And dude, I fell on the ground and wept for like 2 hours because I just felt this unconditional love. The point is that when I encountered this love, nothing else satiated it. I was on a bunch of different drugs at the time. I quit all of it, not because it was religious, but because I just didn't need it anymore. At a 1.4 GPA, bro. I went back to school next semester at a 4.0.
Wow.
Simply because I was like, I'm going to honor my teachers. I'm going to do my homework. I'm going to care about like what authority tells me, like I just started taking what the scriptures teach seriously. And I was wanting to walk with God for me, again, for myself. And dude, you could ask my friends at school. They're like, bro, like, who the hell are you? Like, why are you talking about Jesus all the time? And like, I was a different person, completely different person, because I felt like I understood how bankrupt I was emotionally and spiritually.